This crispy chicken is from a taco place. This crispy chicken is from a taco place? The taco place? Taco place. It comes in a burrito, too?
From your taco place, it's also a chicken place that's also a taco place.
Check out the all-new Blue and Orange store at the Boise State Hall of Fame. The Blue and Orange store has your best game day gear. We're talking jerseys, hats, bumper stickers, car flags, more than 4,000 hats on the hat wall. If you want the best Boise State gear, make sure you check out the Blue and Orange store online at theblueandorangestore.com or the all-new Blue and Orange store down at the Boise State Allen Noble Hall of Fame.
It's the fall kickoff sale at Lithia Ford of Boise. It's the best time to trade in and trade up to a new Ford truck or SUV with the room to haul your payload or playload. Visit Lithia Ford of Boise, where Ford begins in Idaho.
Bronco fans, the new Boise State trading cars are here, and you can only get them at Jackson's. Start collecting them today. Jackson's, let's go!
And final blade of grass. Done. And done. Who knew it'd take 2,007 man-hours to paint 47,962,053 blades of grass? Smells like game day. Whoa, it's not dry yet.
This is Bronco Nation News Live. The best interviews, the most informed opinions, the latest breaking news, all from the top Boise State insiders. Bronco Nation News Live is the only daily show that talks nothing but Boise State sports. And we do it with you. Give us your comments or questions in the ICCU YouTube chat. Or leave us a voicemail on the Signature Roofing voice inbox at speakpipe.com/BNN. BNN Live is presented by our title sponsor, RoadPaint.com, the official paint and coatings company of Boise State Athletics, and our major sponsors, Jackson's, Taco Bell, Idaho Central Credit Union, Lithia Ford of Boise, and the Blue and Orange store. For more coverage of Boise State athletics, check out the all-new BroncoNationNews.com, now part of the 247 Sports family. Now, here's five-time NSMA Idaho Sports Writer of the Year, BJ Rains, with another edition of Bronco Nation News Live.
Good morning, happy game day, Boise State football fans, and welcome to Lithia Ford of Boise. We're starting your game day off at Lithia Ford of Boise with Jim Sturk and company. We're here on Fairview Avenue. Some great deals, never a better time to buy a Ford car or truck. And Jay, we are riding in style today, the 2025 Ford Expedition Max. What a vehicle here at Lithia Ford of Boise. 3 rows of seating, and we're literally riding in style to Jay Tust. We are live, Jay Tust, Bronco Studios. We are at Lithia Ford of Boise in the vehicle, and momentarily here, Jay, I'm just going to drive this thing right off the lot and see what happens.
Yeah, I didn't expect this for today. You said, hey, you want to come say hi to Jim? And I was like, obviously, yes. And somehow I'm now in a brand spanking new Ford Expedition, and it's game day, and it just doesn't get any better than this, I guess.
Well, let us know if our volume sounds okay, if we sound similar, and if you can see us okay. We are dealing with the what do they call it, the 5G hotspot today, and we are literally going to drive this thing off the lot in a second. So if the Wi-Fi is a little spotty, I apologize. But Jay, we were tired of you have the beautiful studio there, Bronco Studios, presented by Ford, and we appreciate Ford and everything they're doing for your studio.
Yep.
We don't quite have that kind of studio, and I just thought on a game day, let's get out of the office for an hour, and we're out here. We're unfortunately actually a little bit of smoke out there. It's a little I guess hazy, smoky this morning for some reason. Not sure where that's coming from, but regardless, beautiful day for football tonight, and we wanted to kick it off here at Lithia Ford.
It's going to be an awesome evening on the blue. Temperatures over 90 degrees today. It's going to be absolutely awesome. A packed Albertson Stadium, which just yesterday, late last night or whatever, they announced that it is officially a sellout. So a 9th straight sellout for the Boise State football team. The crew over at Boise State continues to do a phenomenal job, and it should be an exciting ball game tonight. And I think that we're all a little eager to see this team respond and try to bounce back on the blue this evening after what happened in the season opener. So it's been an interesting week. Usually, I would say the first week, even after a loss, it still generally is filled with excitement. And I'm not going to say this week isn't, but there was a big-time challenge, I feel like, issued by the coaching staff, almost indirectly. They took a lot of the blame, but if you're a player inside that locker room, I think you need to interpret that as, man, you guys are also accountable, and I'm excited to see how they all bounce back today against Eastern Washington.
Yeah, excited for the home opener tonight, and excited to get off the lot here, Jay. We're going to take this thing on the road and see where we end up. Lithia Ford of Boise, great spot, great vehicles. Jim Sturk, we may catch up with him later in the show when we get back here, but excited to, I think, make some history here. The first live Bronco Nation news broadcast, but Jay, you're going to man the comments a little bit too.
Yeah, you focus on the road. I'll check out the comments.
We talked yesterday a lot with Johnny about just what we want to see different in tomorrow's game yesterday, but now it's tonight's game.
Yeah.
For you, we've talked for a week, and people are tired of talking about what went wrong down there at South Florida and everything that comes with it. But for you, what do you want to see? What do you hope to see tonight for Boise State?
I hope to see a team that plays with the fire and determination that we're accustomed to seeing out of the Boise State football team. In all honesty, I thought that, last week's performance was subpar. I'm not even getting into the X's and O's. I mean, like, overall effort. Yes, there are guys, Braxton Feely, Jaden Virgin Morgan, Ben Ford. There are a number of guys that did play at max effort, but it takes all 11, right? If 1/11th is off or fractured in any way, you lose your opportunity to be elite. And so, can they play with their hair on fire today and, truly resemble the team that we're accustomed to seeing, one of the winningest teams in college football over the last 25 years? More specifically, I'd say, BJ, I am interested to see if there are a few little lineup changes or anything like that today. And, I would expect something just because I think we have to, but I don't know if it's going to be anything dramatic. I just wonder if you see a few snaps here and there that are earned by, other players that didn't get to play so much last week.
And one of those would be Jaden Mickey. I think he's a guy we're very interested in seeing. Only played one snap in that game against, which was surprising to me, where they said it was an and it was a battle all through camp. And then we only saw one snap for Jaden Mickey. But reading between the lines, I mean, I'm not sure he starts, but it does sound like Jaden Mickey's going to get some playing time tonight.
Yep, a Notre Dame transfer. And I think when we get these P5 transfers and they come to Boise State, that oftentimes you just assume like it should be just like this seamless transition, like they've played Power 5 football before, like they should be good to go. But I even think we saw that a little bit with Jeremiah Irby last year. It took him about half a season before he was really playing with the confidence that resulted in some nice production down the stretch, right? So I think that for Jaden, maybe they need to ease him into it, but what better time than now? You get an FCS opponent on the blue. No, I'm not overlooking them, but I think that, Boise State's a 30-point favorite. If they do what they're supposed to do, there should be a lot of guys that touch the field today and get a chance to, make the most of their opportunity, which will only benefit them moving forward. But it's really important, BJ, to get it right today. And is a win a win? Absolutely. But you need to win comfortably today. And I know that nobody over inside that football facility is necessarily thinking of it like that. But for us over here on the outside to get a watch, I think you need to win comfortably today because you need to have a good week of practice during the bye. There's nothing worse than you talk with the players, there's nothing worse than going into a bye off a loss just because it sits with you for 2 weeks and you just can't wait to get back on the field. And usually those aren't fun practices. So have a performance that you can put together, build momentum going into the bye, because when you come back, it really starts to count because you get Air Force to open up Mountain West Conference play.
Now, people are, we were at the stoplight there, Jay. I was looking down at the chat, and people are saying that they will give $10 if anyone can find us while we're driving on the road. We're in an undisclosed location, although we are passing one of our sponsors here, Taco Bell. Might be a good spot to stop off.
Let's get some breakfast.
The breakfast. We got our coffee here from Jackson's. We appreciate Jackson's for the coffee. So we're hitting all the sponsor spots today, Jay. But another one of those guys, Derek Anter Jr., that we didn't see much at all in the last game, and he has the unique thing of playing his former school, Eastern Washington. And I know now in the transfer portal era, that's becoming more and more common, Jay, where we're seeing that happen, guys playing their former school and stuff. But a unique opportunity for him, and I know he's in a different spot than a Jaden Mickey, where he's maybe a little, I don't want to say behind, but maybe not quite as far along as a guy that's as polished as a guy that's played meaningful snaps at Notre Dame before. But maybe if you hopefully get a big enough lead, he's another guy, Ganter, that we can see out there tonight.
Yeah, what a good kid, by the way. We get the chance to really catch up with him. It was my first time talking with him. Was that your first time?
It was, yes.
Okay. It was funny because right before the interview, Derek was joking in the hallway with Spencer Danielson, and Spence was like, "Oh, try to get him to smile, guys." And he actually smiled more than a few times in our interview. But I think you can see why Boise State was so eager to get that guy in their program. I mean, he was a great interview, fun to talk to. And, one thing that stood out to me that he said is, when he goes back and looks at the effort last week, he's big on where there's a will, there's a way. And followed up asking Spencer about that. And he just talked about Derek's maturity and how he is going to be a really, really good football player for Boise State. One day. And what is that day today? Is that day next week or a year from now? I honestly don't know, but you see him at practice, he's coming along, and you see the production that he had last year at Eastern Washington. I'm excited to see him, eventually start to put it together and do what he does, do what he needs to do to get on the field with some consistent playing time. It was funny though, because I think you asked him, like, when did you realize that Eastern was on the schedule? And he didn't necessarily know during the recruiting process. And then once it all kind of wrapped up, he saw the schedule and it was like, oh, Eastern Washington's on it.
And I guess it depends too whether you had a good feeling leaving that school or not. But for me,
it feels like he had a good feeling.
Yeah, because for me,
still knows a lot of the guys.
I was just like, that would be something. Like if I'm a coach or I'm a player, and all of a sudden I find out, oh wait, we're playing against them. That would make me seriously consider not wanting to go there. I mean, that'd be an awkward feeling. But I guess he was happy with everything. But yeah, looking forward to him, whether it's tonight or at some point here in the near future, Jay, becoming a key member of this team. Defensively, let's stick there for a second. No turnover, no takeaways on defense in the last game. The tackling obviously wasn't great in the last game. It still gave up too many big plays. I mean, where defensively overall do you want to see them take strides tonight?
I mean, honestly, I think you just hit it all on the head right there, but it begins with one thing, and that's just all 11 guys on the field at a given time playing with max effort. And whether it be, I was going to say this defensively, but I think we can rope the offensive side of the ball into it as well. The pre and post snap penalties have got to go. That's something they've got to figure out. Those are, if you want to make an excuse for week one, a couple of pre-snap penalties, I'll give that to you. I still think the post-snap penalties are inexcusable. I don't care if it's game 1 or game 100. Those are inexcusable, but they've got to clean those up on both sides of the ball, and it's something they can do, but I would love to not see, any post-snap personal fouls today. As silly as that sounds, I think that and playing with max effort would really help this team. Did you see the graph that I know Nathan's really into this stuff, and I'll nerd out with him any day over it, but there was a graph that basically analyzes how bad did your team lose.
We've got that graphic in there. We're moving and I can't get it. But yes, we do have that. Yes.
All right.
Yes.
We'll pull it up in a minute here whenever we get to our next destination, everybody. I just thought that was it's pretty interesting because it actually probably suggests that Boise State should have won that game, which is wild to think because it was a 34-7 outcome in favor of the Bulls. But there really were just a few plays that ended up dictating the outcome of that game. In large, Boise State, snap to snap, apparently was better than South Florida. So that's why I think some of those minor things are so critical. Clean that stuff up, and maybe you flip that score today.
I guess the one thing we're not worried about, I told Johnny, man, I wasn't even discussing it, is the effort part of this. I think we'd be shocked if we had any issues like that this week.
If there's any issues like that this week, it becomes a problem. So, I mean, a one-off is fine. You know, you get a chance to correct it. But when it comes to that at this level of college sports and stuff, to steal a quote from Michael Scott, you know, what is it? It's oh man, I just lost it. Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, strike three. I don't think you get 3 strikes, you know, when it comes to playing with effort. Like, you can have one bad game, but you better correct. Effort is correctable, and that needs to be corrected, because if it's not, it's strike 3 today. You don't get an extra strike. It would be a problem if you are worried about effort today.
He's Jay Tust. My name is BJ Rains. We are headed to an undisclosed location here, having some fun on a game day. Thanks to Lithia Ford of Boise and Jim Sturk. And Jay, Bronco Studios, you guys got a lot going on. We're going to talk offense in a minute, but why don't you plug your show today? I saw the great new signage outside the stadium. You guys got a lot going on. I know it's an exciting, busy day for you on game day also.
Yeah. Well, I had virtually nothing to do with that sign actually getting up, other than looking at it and thinking that it looks absolutely awesome. But that's all Chris Coots, and I'm sure Chris would even then deflect to Nathan Burke and his crew for getting that done. It looks awesome outside. Now, whenever people ask, we can finally point them in a direction, and they might actually know where our new permanent home Bronco Studios is. But yeah, it's on the west side of the stadium, in the parking lot where the old Bronco shop was. But now in big bold letters, this is Bronco Studios with, you know, the presented by Ford right below it. It looks beautiful, looks awesome, and we're excited to continue to partner with Jim and really the rest of the Ford dealerships and you know, throughout the Treasure Valley. It's an awesome. I know they support you, they support us, and we can't wait to you know, continue to push this thing forward into the future. But yeah, coming up today, we have a show live at 4:00. When are you going live?
We're gonna wait till you're done. Probably, I think 4:30 or 5.
Sweet. That's, okay, I was going to guess. So we'll just hand it off to you then.
Yeah.
So we're going to go live at our traditional 4:00. Monday, Wednesday, Fridays, live at 4. We'll be live at 4 today. We're still waiting on a couple of guests, but I believe the great Jeremiah Dickey's going to join us today. Don't hold me to that, because I know he's super busy, but we're hoping that he can join us today. Tyson Dagenhart's going to be a part of the game day festivities today, so he's going to swing on by. About I think we needed a little energy, a little life, and for somebody to show us or tell us all the new cool stuff that's going on game days this year. So
Cody,
no, actually.
Oh, okay. If you want energy and life, I thought you were talking Cody.
Well, I didn't mention credibility. If I said credibility, I would have added Cody. This one is a guy that loves jokes, Joey Jenkins. You're going to hear him tonight throughout the stadium. So, good friend of ours. He's going to swing by and chat a little bit about game day as well. But, you know, we'll have, you know, tail of the tape. We'll break down some of the matchups.
You want to turn that camera, Jay, and let folks?
Can I do that?
Yeah, go for it.
All right, I'll try.
It spins a little to the right here. I don't know where we should pull in or what the deal is, but as we put our hand in front of it, but we are we'll make the turn here and then let folks know what's going on here, and then we'll pull over for a second.
Yeah.
But just there you go.
All right.
Nope. Well, that's fine. Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. We'll go forward. We'll go. I don't know what's.
Did I do that wrong?
No, you're good. Leave it there. Just get out of the way there. Or you're covering.
Yeah, I'm covering it.
No, you closed part of the. You closed part of the screen.
I'm sorry, guys.
That's all right. That's all right.
This is on me.
There you go.
All right, like that.
Yeah. Now you can turn.
And
just
then,
keep the. There you go.
Boom.
There you go. There you go. We've made it. Oh, they're already. Do you have a pass or something to get us in here, Jay?
I don't know that I do.
They're already blocking off the. Maybe we can get in the next entrance.
Go with the next one, maybe.
All right, we are. They've got footwind. This is crazy. They've already got. I've never seen it this early in the day, Jay, on a game day.
Yeah.
I was going to try to drive through, but I don't know if they'll let us here. Should I say we're just passing through? We're doing a drop off, or what should I?
Yeah, we're dropping off
I wish
equipment.
I had my pass. I do somewhere.
I always go with the whole dropping off equipment thing. Of course, they're going to look in here and be like, "What the heck are you guys doing?"
Yeah, we'll see if they'll let us drive through here. We're at the stadium.
I think we just say that we know Jim Sturk, and I think we're good to go.
Hello, we are with the media, and we're like live on a podcast right now. We're just driving through the parking lot. Is that all right? Thank you. All right, we appreciate it.
Hey,
we're driving through.
Transparency's the best.
Yes. The
best
game
form,
day
apparently.
scene, Jay. We already got stuff getting set up here out in front.
You got the Lithia Ford
We're gonna
trucks
go-
right over here. Look at the throwback Bronco, by the way. That thing is sick.
That might have been. That is pretty sick. Wow. So they've already got, Jay, I know they're dealing with one shorter. The Blue and Orange store getting ready for their outdoor setup here. Here they come with the Blue and Orange store with their stuff right there. Jay, I know some new things this year. One of them is one of the entrances is now gone because of the North End Zone project. So they're doing as much as they can to add ticketing, entrances, and things at the other entrances.
This is actually super important if you're listening right now, Bronco Nation, because the gates do open a half hour earlier this season. And because of what's going on in the North End Zone, as BJ just mentioned, there are less entry points, or they've had to move some of them too. So get here early, get in early. That way, when it comes to kickoff, you're not trying to get in at the last second and miss, Sire Gaines's first touch 80-yard touchdown run. But here we are.
Look at this Bronco Studios
driving
thing.
by Bronco Studios.
Now, we didn't plan this correctly. We talked about it earlier. I should have just dropped Jay off for work today here at Bronco Studios. But Jay, I mean, this is
I love driving around the Treasure Valley.
This is unbelievable. I mean, this is big time, man.
Yeah, we're excited.
This is big time.
This is in the West Lot. This is Bronco Studios. Right below that sign is we have our current setup, our current studio, and then all of our creative team, which they are all so much more talented than I am. And then over to the right, you have the ticket office, which is also has the Ford logo on it. And I know that Jim was kind of big on that idea. Like, it just looks awesome. You got the Ford logo on the ticket office. Now it's on Bronco Studios, and kind of in that space to the right there, I think you're going to see us build out, even further when it comes to the future of Bronco Studios. But that's where it exists right now. I don't know if I can say come by and say hi because our team works too hard to be interrupted, but I'm sure there's going to be a day where we welcome the family in there so that everybody out there in Bronco Nation can experience what we're doing inside Bronco Studios.
Now we're going by the Ford tailgate zone here, Jay, at the Chevrolet Field. I know that's a big thing that folks like to do. So if folks are looking for tailgating options, I know the Ford tailgate zone is going to be back in full effort again this year.
Yep, they got it ready to go, and Boise State had their final practice on the grass probably up until San Diego State, way later in the season. But they did that last week prior to South Florida. And now, you're going to get to see Bronco Nation take that thing over today and have a lot of fun in the pregame. Yeah,
well, it's buzzing down here, Jay, already on a game day, huh?
It is, man. There's a lot of people that make this happen. And it's a pretty awesome effort how many people – sacrifice it early morning, late nights, all that stuff to make all this work. But we are off and running on game day.
There's our Blue and Orange store kiosk. I don't know if it's going to go all the way back. We just might have broke the maybe put it back on us for the rest of the time here.
I'm sorry.
That's all right. That's all right. We're
doing my best. I didn't know that was going to be a part of it. Am I your cameraman man now too?
I guess so. I don't know what the union law is on that, but Eastern Washington truck. I don't know if we can give them a look at that maybe as we pull out here. There we go.
Back in Malaluka scoreboard, and then the Eastern Washington truck just sitting right outside the Varsity Center.
What are we expecting from Eastern Washington tonight, Jay?
They're coming off a little bit of a down season, and I think you saw them put together a great effort in their season opener on the road against a really talented squad. I think it was Tom Scott, our boy, that brought up this question the other day, and that was Eastern Washington played in front of like 2,200 fans in their season opener, and tonight they're going to step inside Albertson Stadium in front of a sold-out crowd of probably somewhere just north of 33,000. That's going to be a little bit of a big swing when it comes to the atmosphere that they're going to have to deal with. They got a good quarterback. Their coach is super experienced guy. Obviously, he's passionate about Eastern Washington because he's been there forever. And at the end of the day, this is Boise State versus Boise State, though. I mean, I don't mean to say this, and I know that the guys over there in that building, they have a completely different perspective on it. Maybe they agree it's Boise State a little bit just because they beat themselves last week, but I really do believe this is one of those games where you go through your prep, you take care of all that stuff, and then you play with tremendous effort, and the results should take care of themselves.
Let's talk offense for a minute, Jay, as we're back here moving. But the offense, Maddox Madsen, I know some people just, I mean, the guy could go 29 for 30 and someone will point out the one incomplete pass. I mean, it just is what it is. But I thought, was he perfect? No. There were some passes that he missed. There was that 4th and 2 to Sire Gaines that I thought wasn't a perfect throw.
Yeah.
He did miss a couple. There was one that was almost intercepted. But did have, I guess he lost a fumble himself, right? Even though that was on a 4th down.
Yeah.
But he did lose a fumble, I guess. So he did have a turnover. But overall, Maddox Madsen, the receivers, the passing game, Chris Marshall. I mean, I loved what I saw early in the game from Chris Marshall. Would love to see more. But where are you on the passing game? And I guess Maddox Madsen after week 1.
I think, man, you're right, Matt. I think Maddox would be the first guy to tell you that he missed a few throws against South Florida. The 4th down to Sire Gaines, there's actually multiple probably options or guys he could have gone to as South Florida dropped on that play. But, I think that you heard Spencer Danielson kind of sum it up best. And I almost think that there was an underlying story there. Like, no, Maddox didn't play great. He certainly wasn't the problem, though. But no, he didn't play great. But one thing that they know with Maddox, he's always going to have tremendous effort, and he's going to be eager to correct something. And I think the underlying message there is, guys, just play at 1,000 miles an hour, and the rest will take care of itself. And as long as everybody's doing that, the scoreboard is going to be just fine at the end of the day. So I think they were more disappointed with guys that weren't playing with that max effort. And man, I just feel like I'm just on repeat here this week. But that is the main storyline. Like, they've got to come out and everybody's got to play up to their standards and up to their max effort abilities.
Well, I've repeated myself about 20 times, but I want more Sire Gaines tonight, man.
I agree with you on that. And I think that that's something that you'll absolutely see. You're going to see Boise State come out and absolutely establish the run. They're going to run the ball, throw off play action, and then if there's anything left over, they'll drop back a few times. But by and large, you're going to see them run the football tonight. And I don't want to throw out any ridiculous numbers, but if I think that probably, again, maybe this is too much, but I think 200 yards probably needs to be the expectation on the ground in this one.
Yep, and Dylan Riley. We're
not from one guy,
I'm sure we're going to see plenty of Dylan Riley.
Yeah.
We're going to see plenty of Malik Sherrod, but for me, it's I want Sire Gaines. And Jay, on that first drive, they talk about setting a mentality, establishing the run. Yeah. I want like 5 straight carries. I want Ashton Genty style, just run the football, start with that mentality, and let Sire Gaines go to work.
Yeah. I would love to see that. That's for sure. Watching him in his limited carries last week, the fumble was disappointing. Ball got a little low, and he's got to clean that up. I think that's something that should be correctable, though. That's a technique thing that should be correctable. But, man, you see some of his runs and his ability to break tackles, and that's what this offense needs, man. That's what this offense needs. And he was so special last year in the South Florida or in the Georgia Southern opener. And then he only got a couple carries against Oregon and then a couple carries against Portland State, and then it was done. But I still think like he's only 18 years old. He's still super young for being in his second year of college. And I think that he's the type of guy that not only the way that he runs, but his physicality, his mentality, I just think that you need to push that to the front of this offense and let the trickle-down effect happen. Because I think when you pair his mentality with Roger Carrion and Mason Randolph and those big dudes up front, I think that is a recipe for success. And I think that if you can establish that and let those guys go to work and do what they do best, everything else is going to benefit from it. And there's going to be a massive trickle of down effect, not only across the whole offense, but really across the entire football team, in my opinion.
Who's a guy we're not talking about enough right now?
Ben Ford.
All right.
Ben Ford, because of the outcome of the game, Ben Ford barely got any love. Ben Ford played the game the right way last week. He was one of the guys that absolutely did, and he made the most of his opportunity. He had 5 balls thrown his way. He had 4 receptions for 44 yards. Going into that game last week, he only had 4 catches for 34 yards in his entire career, and he is a redshirt senior. So Ben Ford deserves a little bit more credit because he was one of the guys that showed up and, for his sake, showed out against South Florida. And now for him, it's just going to be bringing that back and being – as consistent as they need him to. Other guys, man, maybe a Marco Notriani. He stood up there and owned it after the post-game press conference, despite the fact I think Marco played, fairly well last week. Another guy that, I never questioned Marco's effort. And then overall, that defensive line, man, that defensive line, that was a really encouraging start against a front for South Florida that, I mean, those guys weren't small, let's face it.
Was it 3 of the sacks or all 4 that came with just a 4-man? I guess the one you had Banks getting in there before the penalty, so there had to be somebody coming in. But most of their damage on the pressure was not done with the blitzes like it was done last year.
I don't believe Banks blitzed on that play, though.
Okay.
I don't believe he did.
But for the most part, it felt like they were getting home with the 4-man front, not having to do the exotic blitzes we saw last year.
Which was definitely different than what we saw last year. Exactly right. They blitzed a lot.
How do I get back to Lithia Ford, by the way, Jay? Where do I?
Just keep going straight, man.
Right.
Yeah, I know where.
I get off by KTVB there.
I know where Jim Sturk lives. So
we already blew our cover, so we can discuss where we're at. I guess.
Actually,
now,
you can also stay on here, and even take the
Curtis.
Yeah.
And then take a left on Curtis
if you'd like. Yeah.
All right, we'll get.
You got options, man.
All right. What were we talking about? The defensive line. Sorry.
I was just really impressed by that group. David Latu made a couple of plays. He's a guy that probably deserved a half a sack last week, but didn't get it. He impacted a couple of plays. Braxton Feely, I mean, Braxton's going to have a monster year. I've said it before, and I think we saw it game 1, 7 tackles, 2 tackles for – I think he had a tremendous first game. Jaden Virgin Morgan, we talk about guys, playing with effort. Jaden Virgin Morgan went out and got a career-high 8 tackles, and another play that stands out for me was the fumble that he helped force late in that game. Boise State didn't recover it, and it didn't end up really mattering. But still, JVM is your junior captain that is your preseason all accolades and all this stuff, and despite the fact you're getting blown out, he's 20 yards downfield, still trying to find a way to impact a play and force a fumble. So you can't question his effort. I thought that group played really well overall. Guys like Bull still have to come along because they're going to need him for depth purposes. But I thought that it was a really, really encouraging game 1 for that group, and for a position that actually did have some question marks over it prior to the season. And that was one position group that felt like, dare I say, I think that they won't go as far as this, but when you consider how the game went and how how you would evaluate a lot of it, I thought that the D-line actually exceeded my expectations in that game.
Jay, we only got you for a couple more minutes here, but just big picture wise, I know a lot of fans were bummed. I know it kind of was a little bit of a buzzkill when you talk about just the expectations for the season and everything. And, and unfortunately, the year we live in is made it much tougher for the playoff, given, everything that happened in the first game. But big picture wise, where are you and just still what's ahead for this team? I know it's kind of cliche, but I mean, obviously if you beat Notre Dame, that does change everything in front of them, but obviously that's just seems like such a daunting task at this point. But where are you, just big picture and expectations for you and where you think the fan base is right now?
Well, real quick there, I've never done this before, so I'm going to try to do this for you, bud. But all right. I'm going to throw up is Hall Schmidt back? We actually got the answer to that earlier this week. It was kind of one that I feel like we even knew about going into the season opener, but there was a position battle at right tackle, and I know it didn't go extremely well for Daylon in his debut as a starter there, but he definitely seems like, from my understanding, went out and won that starting job. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, he was available last week.
Yeah, so
from my understanding, yeah,
that's my understanding. But
it wouldn't shock me if he was kind of working his way back in. He did miss a good chunk of fall camp, so it wouldn't shock me if they get some rotation in there.
Yeah. But either way, Hall Schmidt is back, and he is available or should be.
You can click hide current comment or play another one if you want.
All right, let's see here. I found one up here, but it slipped away.
It's harder to scroll up. Sorry.
I'm sorry, guys. That's probably just going to live up there for a little while. Are they getting smacked by Notre Dame? Yeah, you know what? They got a couple weeks to figure it out. I can tell you that. Watching Notre Dame and the level of physicality they played with against Miami, like they're going to have to bring it. I mean, like Boise State brought it last year against Oregon, they're going to have to bring it on the road at Notre Dame. But somebody up there said they're predicting 60-17 tonight, so at least one member of Bronco Nation has their head in the right spot or is still optimistic about the season, that lies ahead. But I think that would be a score that I would be cool with. In all honesty, I would probably hope to see less than 17, but if you run up 60, it probably means you got some of your backups in there and stuff like that. So if it's 60-17, I would say that would be Bronco Nation should go home happy if that ends up being the score.
What's your big picture thought?
big picture thought on.
just on as just talking about where you're at.
Oh, you did.
I know
you
it
did
was
ask me that. I got
that's okay.
sidetracked.
I know
to
it was
click
kind of
these
a
buttons.
buzzkill, but what do you just make about where they're at going into this game?
I'm an optimistic guy. I'm always glass half full, but I gotta see that. I gotta see effort tonight, man, and I gotta see it from everybody that Spencer Danielson gives an opportunity to play on that football field. Because I know that I've said this a number of times. I've been covering the team a long time, and I just saw some uncharacteristic effort from a Boise State football player or Boise State football players last week, and if they can show us that today, then I still have high hopes for this season. I think that they got a lot of talent. Talent was not the issue last week against South Florida. I still feel like not the issue at all against South Florida, in my opinion. So the talent is there for this team to run it back and win the Mountain West. But now it's that their margin of error is almost been eliminated. I don't want to say it's completely gone, because we saw last year with UNLV. If UNLV had came up to Boise and somehow upset the Broncos, then the Rebels might very well might have been in the college football playoff last year. Fortunately, Boise State just took care of business, hammered the Rebels like they normally do, and the rest is history. So I don't want to say like it's, their margin for error is completely gone, but you probably have to operate that way just moving forward.
Well, final thing or so, Jay, as we get ready to pull back in the parking lot here. You mentioned on your show yesterday, again, 4 o'clock, you can go back and watch their older shows on YouTube channel, correct? You had Nathan Burke on, Jay, and you were talking about just some of the differences for game day. And I know we talked about the entrances when we were down there by the stadium, but you've seen the intro video. I know you're a part of, I know you're not in all the marketing meetings, Jay, but just the light show tonight with the game getting dark in the second half. And you mentioned the intro video is pretty cool. What are fans in store for tonight that go?
I'm just giving a shout out to my guys, Sam, Kirby, obviously C-Mitch. They're so creative. They're so talented. And the intro video is going to be absolute fire tonight. Those guys are taking care of business over there. Real quick, Shelby over at ICCU, our guy over there.
I almost said we were about to drive right past one of our ICCUs.
He wants us to open up the sunroof so that the fans can hear how good our analysis is. Not quite what he said, but I know that's what he meant. I will say this. I did see a bunch of the ICCU signage, by the way, Shelby.
Oh, so awesome. It's just it's been a while, man, to see that blue and that sign back there inside, outside the stadium. It's pretty cool.
They had the banners up with it at one point in time, along with it on the Jumbotron. It looked awesome. So it's cool to see the good people at ICCU like Shelby and his crew over there. So it'll be exciting to see those guys.
But the game day atmosphere tonight, Jay, it's a sellout. I mean,
it'd be awesome.
I know.
Where else would you want to be? It's going to be 90 degrees, 7 o'clock, Friday night. It is early September in Boise, and you get to watch the Boise State football team play on the blue. Like it's one of the 6 best nights of the year. We get to see this team play on the blue, and you get to hang out with 33,000 of your best friends. I don't know what more anybody could ask for, and you're going to see a fiery team that's going to respond tonight, in my opinion.
Any chance it's louder in the north end zone because of the way the sound bounces off those walls, or not?
Gosh,
because it's now closed in. There's no opening for the sound to get out. Any thought there?
Maybe eventually, because when you actually have fans and stuff down there.
I should have gone.
I would assume eventually. No, not you. Easy.
Well,
you see the sticker on this thing?
Yeah, I did. I'm 4 minutes from my contractually obligated time to get Jay off the air, so I'm trying to make sure we're back okay.
Here, to return this bad boy safe and sound, we can wait a minute.
But the north end zone, that's going to be weird. No fans down there. The crane, I understand. I believe they're using the blue chaos flag and incorporating the crane somehow. Shout out Sam McCaskill. He'll be doing the flag tonight.
Former Boise State football player, going to be it's there's actually going to be a couple people up in the crane too throughout the game. They do have to have people up there operating it throughout the game, so that's going to be one heck of a bird's eye view. But that's like the people that normally operate.
Jay, I was going to talk to Jim Sturk for a couple minutes. I'm asking you, on the fly here, but do you want to chat with Jim, or do you need to roll here?
I would love to chat with Jim, but I think that we need Jim up here in the front seat, so I'm gonna let him be your co-pilot, and you know what? I'll go find him for you.
Yeah, that might not be a bad idea.
Give him a nice firm handshake and tell him happy game day, and I'll let him.
Hey, what do you think?
Wrap up the show with you. We did it.
Not sure if any laws were broken, but we did it.
I mean, I was just over here in the passenger seat, so I'm not.
I was just driving. I had 10 and 2 the whole way, so I don't think we did anything. We're back into Lithia. Jay, Lithia Ford of Boise, and as we said, Bronco Studios. I know they're a big the Ford stores and Jim Sturk, and whether it's coaches' vehicles, players' vehicles, they do a tremendous job. So
They do
we
an awesome
appreciate
job.
them, and we're going to keep this going for a little bit. But Jay, we appreciate you, man.
That's wild. I pretty much exactly worked out to the time limit there.
Well,
man.
I appreciate you, man. I know Jay has a tremendously busy day today, and for you to give up more than an hour of your time to make this all work, we seriously, man, really appreciate it.
I got up
man.
early, started editing. I was ready for this.
Well, I know,
I'm gonna go back into the dungeon
if
now.
you had 10 other things you should have been doing, they were, but we
All
appreciate
good.
you for making it happen, man.
All right, this was
Go
cool.
find Jim Sturk. Yeah.
See if Jim will just let you keep this thing.
I would really like to, man. This is a tremendous.
All right, we'll see you guys tonight.
Appreciate you, man. Thanks a lot, Jay. Jay Tust, and yeah, he's being nice, but he this was a lot of his time on a game day. They've got a show today, and he's got a lot going on, and for Jay to give up his hour there and do this, I really appreciate that. So we appreciate you guys. We're going to keep this thing going. We are live at Lithia Ford of Boise. We got our man Jim Sturk coming out here momentarily, and they're doing tremendous stuff with NIL game and all the various things, and we appreciate all of our sponsors. I know we didn't really get a chance to give them much love there, but you see a lot of them at the bottom of the screen there. I know ICCU, and I know Shelby and the crew are watching. Get out to ICCU, man. Pretty cool to see them back in the stadium as well with all the NIL deals they have, and their logo is inside the stadium, outside the stadium. They got a ton going on. So we appreciate ICCU for their support. And they're one of our main sponsors, and we appreciate them for their support of Bronco Nation News. And as we do all of our great sponsors here, the Blue and Orange Store, hope you check them out as well, and Jackson's, and all of our great sponsors. And that includes Jim Sturk, Lithia Ford of Boise. We didn't wreck it, man. We made it down and back, and we're good.
How was your ride?
It was great, man. We had folks trying to say that they would put up money if somebody could get the first to find where we were or snap a picture with us, or and we made it right past all of our. We almost stopped at the Taco Bell drive-through, but we decided that probably wasn't a good idea, and we were going to stop and run through the ATM at ICCU and go get some more coffee at Jackson's. We hit up all of our sponsors, I think, on the way down there, but there was already a buzz down there by the stadium. They're already setting up the kiosks for the new Blue and Orange Store outside shops with all the shirts and jerseys, and they're getting the Ford to Chevrolet tailgate zone ready to go. And there was the plaza there. I mean, there was already a nice buzz.
Where do they when are they able to start with the tailgates and such?
I believe, and somebody might have a better idea with me. I want to say sometimes it's only 4 hours till kickoff, which would be 3:00, but they already had people we had to talk our way into the parking lot. We said, we're live on the air. Can you let us in? They're already blocking off the new people from coming in if you don't have a pass, I guess. So maybe it's going to be different this year, but I believe it's usually on a Friday. I want to say 4 hours from kickoff, unfortunately, which wouldn't be till 3:00. But there was a nice buzz down there for sure.
There could be a little bit different traffic pattern today because you got women's volleyball at 3:30.
And you're involved you have some NIL deals there, correct?
I have Lily Eder,
yes.
number 3. Yeah.
Well, tell us about this vehicle, first of all.
It's 2025.
Get that a little closer to your mouth there.
2025 Ford Expedition trim package is active. It's a Max, which is a little bit longer than your normal Expedition, so it gives you a little bit more room behind that third seat. All new body style this year. And it's gone over quite well. I mean, it's the dashboard, as you can see, is pretty dang cool. Gone over really well. We're selling them quickly.
A lot opens at 3, by the way, they're saying in the comments. So,
okay.
Good to know. Folks will be down there ready to go. And yeah, we're my wife's minivan. It's on his last leg, and this has got this has the 3 rows. And what I noticed is that third row is not one of those third rows where you're just jam packed in there. There's a lot of room.
No, there's space back there.
Yeah. I'm not quite sure we can afford this one, but this is one my wife certainly is going to be trying to talk me into, because this is super nice.
You can also get that second row with a pass through, so you can forego that middle seat. And so if you have kids, they can just hop in and go to the back seats like they usually want to anyway.
Bronco 130 says, had my oil changed yesterday at the Lithia Service Center. Kyle was a great help. So
Kyle's awesome.
There you go. Folks are they're wanting to know what do you think about raffling off a free Ford Bronco to a BNN subscriber here? They're asking about that as well. It might be a little outside your sponsorship package to give away a free.
That's pretty strong.
But Jim, I know you're doing a lot for Boise State. We actually drove by the Ford Bronco Studios down there. I know you guys are involved with them there and that, and your name is all over. You mentioned the Ford tailgate zone and everything else, and you've got some NIL deals. I know you've added a couple additional football players this year, and You're up to what, 7 or 8 student athletes now?
I want to say we have 7.
Okay.
Right now. We got Matt Lauder, who's been with us for a bit. Roger Carrion, that we did a deal with. Cage Casey, of course, and also with Cage's deal, he put a thing out there that he and his wife were gonna.
I was gonna bring that up next. Yes.
Okay, well, I'll let you bring that up. And then Latrell Caples. Gosh, I'm missing somebody, aren't I?
You mentioned Carry On, Caples, Louder, Casey. That might be the 4 football.
And then
players.
and then I got the 3 female athletes. I got Kenzie McMillan that we just signed for soccer.
Yep.
Lily Eder for volleyball, as we talked about, and then Shannon Keegren, pitcher for softball.
Well, it's pretty cool that you've expanded this, and as you mentioned with Cage Casey and also with Kenzie McMillan, they are both doing some charitable pledges this year, and you guys stepped up and are involved in both.
Yeah, I saw Cage's post on Instagram that he was doing something for the Boise Rescue Mission. It was like $300 for every pancake block. So I thought that was pretty exciting. So I just decided we would double down, and so we'll double his it's his own personal donation that he's doing, and so we're doubling down and helping him out. And so we're going to do 300 also. And then Kenzie's, it's $500 per goal and $250 per assist. And
she's going to cost you guys some money this year.
She's making us pay already.
Was it 4 goals already?
Something like that. Yeah.
But that's pretty cool that you're doing that. Did you do any research in terms of how many pancake blocks are average for a season, or do you have any idea what you're getting yourself into?
Well, I asked Cage, I said, so how many? And he said between 20 and 40.
That's a pretty big gap for
that's crushing some other guys.
Yes.
So I feel sorry for the 40 guys that get pancake from Cage.
Well, you can go to Cage Casey's Instagram, I believe, Kenzie McMillan's as well. I know we had Kenzie on the show last week talking about that, and folks can go in and pledge. And I know Matt Bauscher has stepped up with Kenzie as well.
That's right.
Some other sponsors have to match that, and I think she's just taken. If anybody wants to put in $10 a goal or $20 a goal or help out, there's some very charitable causes there for both of those. So hopefully those will help raise a ton of money for charity. And I wasn't surprised to hear you were involved in that, Jim. But what do you, as a diehard fan here, you've seen the good, the bad, the ugly over the years. I mean, what's your kind of big picture thoughts after the tough one down there in South Florida?
Well, obviously that's over, and I believe the team's moved on, and they get to come back home in front of the home crowd, and I'm not going to say Eastern Washington's an easy win, because none of them are, right?
Yeah.
We thought we were going to go into South Florida and win that one, and you see what happened. But I think we'll take care of business tonight. We'll get back on the right foot. We got a nice bye week coming just in time so we can get ready for Air Force.
Yep.
Right? You need a couple weeks to get ready for those guys. And so we'll see. I still think we're going to be pretty dang excited when the season ends.
Yeah, no doubt. It's one game, and all you got to do is go beat Notre Dame now, and everything's back to back on track. And that's a big now. Just go beat Notre Dame.
That's a big ask.
I assume you're going to that one.
Yes,
that'll be exciting. That'll be fun. And you mentioned the Air Force game coming up, but the home opener tonight. Only 6 home games, aside from a championship game, Jim, and the North End Zone project. I mean, it's going to be a little different feeling this year, but I know it's all good things are coming.
Yeah, you wonder about the noise, because those North Enders used to get it on pretty good.
They did. And I was wondering with Jay if there's a chance it might be louder though, because now you're kind of caved in. You've closed it off a little bit. Maybe it holds it a little better.
Yeah, I don't know what the capacity is without that right now. Do you have any idea?
Just under 33,000. Basically 33. They lost about 3,000 seats.
Oh, so we can still make some noise.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, you don't want to ever have to do this, especially tonight. But if you ever had to go to overtime or something, you'd probably choose the other end.
Yeah.
Yeah. But you do have the students right there now, and they're switching sidelines.
Yep.
So the students are now going to be on the side over by the visiting team, and you're going to have the team coming out of a different tunnel. And and now it's going to be interesting and a different vantage point with the Boise State team, the home sideline now being on the side of the Sky Center.
It'll be certainly different. All these years watching the band come out of the one tunnel to start the game, I always get pretty excited when that happens, and how that all starts. And I guess that's all changed. And so we'll have to see what that dynamic looks like tonight. And then, of course, the horse running out and all of that. So,
well, for someone, I mean, you've obviously been a part of this as a fan, but also a contributor and donor and supporter and, financial backer, whatever you want to call it, for a long time. The changes, man, with the score, they keep getting bigger scoreboards. They keep getting better lights, better sound systems, better, everything. And I know the North End Zone project's a year away, but I mean, this, dinky old little stadium keeps getting some new stuff added to it. And it's got to be exciting to see kind of the changes for someone like you. And also to hear probably that you've heard behind the scenes, a lot of the changes that, could be coming too.
Yeah, it's certainly exciting. There's things that are happening that honestly, I was like, there's no way we're going to be able to raise that money and to get this stuff done. But Jeremiah, he's a visionary, and he's pulling it off.
Yeah,
he is just getting it done, and so it's really exciting. It's exciting for the community for certain.
Well, what else you got? I know you mentioned this expedition right here, but what else you guys pushing right now? And obviously we see that whole nice line of Broncos over there.
Yeah,
I mean, there's some, even like we saw some on the Lincoln Navigators on that side. I know you have the Lincoln dealership too. I mean, you guys got a ton of great sales and things going right now.
It's this is always a good time of year because you're transitioning model years, and some of them, like we got some 26s rolling in right now, and so soon that whatever that model line is, the 26s that we got coming in, the 25s need to go. And so, we got 2026 Super Duties coming.
Wow.
And so then the 25s got to go. This is a really good time for those type vehicles, because that inventory gets a little bit thin here in about 45 days. And so selection is really good today. In 45 days from now, selection won't be that great.
Okay.
But F-150s, we got some 26s that are rolling in, and Ford always does a good job of incentivizing those so that we can move those. And yeah, we got them all right now.
I might be sold, man. I got to talk to my wife. We may have to make it back up here at some point. We're trying. When you don't have, how it is. When you don't have a car payment, you want to hang on as long as you can. But we're getting pretty close to needing a new vehicle. This is super nice. This is super nice. I don't know if we can quite pull this off, but man, this is worth every penny. I'll tell you that.
It's they've done a nice job with this. Obviously, we sell a lot of used cars too, and so you get that when you get this new model Expedition. So then the late model stuff, because people want to upgrade, you get a lot of those nice trade-ins of those 21s, 22s, 23s, and those are really nice deals.
That's what we did. We purchased a used F-150 from you. We got a platinum, but I think it was a 2017 when we got it about 3 years ago, and we're loving every second of it. It's been great. And I want to know tell me about this Bronco right here though, because this is right up my wife's alley, probably right here. She would love this kind of baby blue color.
That light blue that they call that robin egg blue.
All right.
So that's one of the original Bronco colors from back in the day.
Okay.
And so they'll do those on a couple of the units, whether it's a full-size Bronco like that one or like Bronco Sport. So they do some of those classic old colors on some of those. Yeah, they look great. And there's another one that we took down for the Ford display. It's called a Strope. It's blue and orange with black hood.
Okay.
You gotta find that near the Ford display down at the stadium. It's a pretty cool looking rig.
We did see we showed it on the screen when we drove by, but we saw your trucks down there, right?
Yeah,
parked right in front.
Yep, we got a few display vehicles down there. Go to the Ford. Near the Ford fan zone is the Ford Experience. So we also do. I can't remember now. So it's either $5 or $10, and we sell hats underneath that tent.
Okay.
And all of that money goes to a local military organization. We usually raise about $15,000. That we end up giving a check to a selected military organization toward the end of the year.
Okay.
It's a pretty neat deal.
Oh wow!
And the hats are nice stuff.
Okay, and that's right there at the on the plaza there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, right in front of the Hall of Fame.
And I know the military is a big deal to you.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
2 boys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's cool. And we appreciate them for all they're doing in their service. But somebody said the Raptor back here looks nicer. They'd prefer that. That's a nice looking Raptor too, right?
Where?
Is there a Raptor over here?
There's one on the other side. That's a Tremor.
Oh, that's a Tremor. Maybe. Yeah.
Yeah.
We almost went for that one, but you sold that one.
Oh, they saw that white one in the background.
Yeah, the white Raptor right there. Yeah.
Yes, Raptors are cool.
Yes.
No doubt.
Yeah, no. Well, Jim, we appreciate you for letting us. I think part of this deal was I just get this indefinitely, this vehicle, correct? I can have it the rest of the weekend, maybe, or I don't know what the agreement was, but no, we appreciate you for letting us come hang out, and we appreciate your continued support of Bronco Nation News and what we got going on, and I know you got a lot of different groups you're supporting, and your dollars are tight, going different ways. But every year when I ask if we're good to renew, I always appreciate when you say yes, and we appreciate your sponsoring our pregame show. So we'll be down at the James Kitchen and Bar tonight. Hopefully folks will come on by. We'll be live about 4:30 on the patio at the James Kitchen and Bar with the Lithia Ford of Boise pregame show, and we'll get you set. Brad Bedell and Kent Riddle and I will be sitting out there, and we'll get you set for this game. So anyone that's watching, either come join us in person, but if you can't, you can watch it on YouTube and all that. This gentleman right here, by the way, says I'm not a Ford guy, but I love the Ford Raptor, and it's literally has me considering buying a Ford. So well, good. There you go. We got to get him to become a Ford guy.
If you get in it, you're not going to get out.
That's probably that's unfortunately there's a lot of really, really, really nice and you're pushing the electric vehicles now too, right?
We sell electric vehicles. We got the Ford Lightning F-150 and the Mustang Mach-E, the car. They're selling well. They're actually a little bit better than I thought.
Well, there you go.
But we have some.
Well, again, thanks for your support of BNN, man. We appreciate it.
Yeah, absolutely. Go Broncos.
4:30, the pregame show. Join us. Hopefully your game day's off to a nice start. We had fun. We didn't wreck it. All's good. And we appreciate Lithia Ford of Boise. Again, 4:30, we'll be back with the pregame show on YouTube, on Facebook, on X. But come join us in person down at the James, and then we'll have the post-game show as well coming up after the game as well. So thanks to all of our sponsors. I know I shortchanged some of you because we couldn't really do our normal stuff driving today, but go support all the sponsors, folks. We appreciate you. And what do we got here? Everyone's
I'm more of a Yugo guy.
Well, we appreciate it, and hope everybody has a great rest of your day. It's game day. Should be a fun one. We'll talk to you at 4:30 with the pregame show here on Bronco Nation News, BroncoNationNews.com.
It's the fall kickoff sale at Lithia Ford of Boise. It's the best time to trade in and trade up to a new Ford truck or SUV with a room to haul your payload or playload. Visit Lithia Ford of Boise, where Ford begins in Idaho.